Hello my friends and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really ultra mega well and just sending you loads of love. So this reading is about what you are resisting. What are you resisting? And I'm going to do the pile selection on screen in this bit because I like it. So let's see, what are you resisting? For pile 1, what are you resisting? Okay. Pile 2, what are you resisting? I'll do another one so that we don't see it. Pile 2, what are you resisting? These might be reversed, but I'm not going to be reading them reversed. Upversed? Is that even a word? Right, okay, so let me just double check. Yeah, they are all reversed if they're that way, so I will turn them that way. So we have, my loves, we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. What are you resisting? Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. What are you resisting? Timestamps will be in the description box below. And I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hello, my loves, and welcome to your reading, pile 1. So you chose this card. Let's have a look. What are you resisting? Pele, fire, respect, tradition. Interesting. And then we've also got the number 4 as well, which is very synonymous with the Emperor card, being that kind of stability. Aries is resonant with the Emperor card. But here we have this divine feminine power of Pele. This Tahitian goddess. I think it's, well, no, I think that's absolutely wrong. I don't think it is Tahitian. I think she might be actually, let's have a look. Let's have a look. 31. Hawaiian. I do apologize there. Hawaiian, not Tahitian. So volcanoes, fire and lightning remained a symbol of power, strength, protection and respect in Hawaiian culture through many invasions, colonization and war. So, I mean, the first thing that came to me from this was tradition, respect, fire. It's something, either you are not respecting something, you may be resisting some kind of tradition. And the thing is, actually, what more so, it's almost like you, out of a sense of value and self-respect, you are going against a tradition. Does that make sense? So it's almost like your fiery passion and your devotion is kind of been seen as disrespectful to a particular tradition of something. You may be quarreling with family, or there may be some kind of clash with some kind of, like, even in a company or something like that. There may be something that you're pushing up against. I do also get the sense that there's something about your roots as well that you are pushing up against. It feels like you're pushing up against an institution. That's what it is. Whether the institution be a, be a family, be it tradition, be it a company, be it, be it a school. That's what I feel. Pile 1. So that's what I feel like initially. Let's have a little look with the tarot to see how much more we get. And because the idea of, like, because she's a Pacific goddess, it's very much being isolated, being in an island, and as somebody who originates from an island, and that's not just being born in Britain, but also my ancestors come from an island as well. Island mentality is very different to, like, mainland mentality. If you come from an island, there's a very, very specific way of being. It's very independent, particularly with the women. And and also that fire, it's not just necessarily for women, it's also for men as well. But if you know, and that doesn't, I'm not saying that, you know, even if you weren't born on an island or whatever, yeah, I'm just saying that this is what's coming up in the reading. So in the respect to that, the idea of that independence and wanting to really kind of go against the grain is coming out here. It's almost like you are on some kind of quest to kind of break against tradition. I don't think that there is any kind of obvious sense of you being disrespectful or going against tradition. It's just because you're trying to be who you want to be, and people may see it as that way, but there is resistance because people see it that way. And obviously that's I don't feel like that's what you're trying to do. Okay, so we've got death reversed. It came up. So let's go with that. Oh, God. Okay. Well, interesting, because we've got the Emperor reversed and the... Okay. Okay, Power One. There's something going on here. So, I mean, you know, what are you resisting? It could be definitely something to do with, like, deep ancestral stuff. You know, death reversed, resistance to change, resistance to transformation, the Emperor, complete like oppression from an institution, something that is destabilizing, something that seems to kind of push its opinion on something or you, and you are kind of pushing against that. It's pretty big here. So I think I was a bit nervous to kind of go that deep so soon in to the reading, but it's my Power One's always the firecrackers, for sure. And I definitely resonate with Power Ones. So, like, Power One's always been my pile. So, yeah, like, the Hermit as well. You're being really outspoken about this, outspoken about the way that you feel about this. This could also not just be you. It could be about people who are in your situation, who are not transforming, who are not allowing things to kind of change and evolve with time. Also, what I'm getting from here, just make sure that you can see that, because like yesterday when I did the clicker card, this was too bright. Also, with death reversed, it could be that you are not allowing this to let lie. So, for example, if there's been some really off-key behaviour, when I say off-key, I mean just out of order behaviour with someone, and the excuses is like, oh, well, they always do that, you know, that's who they are, and you're like, no, that's not going to fly with me this time. This is not going to fly. This is bordering on whatever it is. You know, it could be, you know, abusive behaviour. It could be some kind of like, you know, not very nice behavior, something that's quite damaging, and you're like, no, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to allow this to happen. Definitely with that Emperor reversed. It could be to do with the father's side. It could be to do with either the grandfather's side as well. So there's definitely something with the paternal line here. The Page of Swords. Yeah, there's definitely been an inability to be able to speak your truth, to speak your mind. And also what I see here with this Page of Swords is that that there may be people in the situation that have been complicit in allowing this behavior to continue. Deep. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, refusal, absolute refusal to let this go. Lie. You are not businessing with any of this. You are like, nope, I'm not accepting this behavior. No, not going to do it. Seven of Cups. Oh, yeah. Right, okay, so what are you resisting, Power One? You are resisting, as I said, you are resisting an institution. You're resisting something that is very, very, this is external, clearly external. It's not you. And any kind of triggeredness that is happening within you is because of external influences. You've got 3 major arcana here. There's no question about that. And you also got a Page of Swords here, which is, to me, it seems to me like what is kind of even making you even more angry in a way, because all of these cards were reversed as well, so I am going to take that into account. But yeah, you've got, with the Knight of Pentacles, there may have been this thing of like where, you know, like, I don't know, like maybe some good behavior that other people perceived you to do when you weren't actually speaking out, and now you've decided to speak out, and then because of that, people are like, oh, look at this person, they're ruining it all. What I'm seeing right now, yeah, is a family get together. And in the family get together, you've got this one person, or say when someone comes, you know, you don't know whether or not that they're going to be quite erratic or whatever, or something always happens when this person comes along. Now, or their behavior sometimes is quite, you know, triggering or quite out of order maybe, but then everybody kind of lets this person get away with it. It could be a patriarchal or a matriarchal figure or whatever. Now, whatever is your situation, not whatever to the situation. In the respect of that, then you kind of, or what I see is someone that is like stepping up to that. And then what happens is then the other people in the situation go, oh God, here we go. This person always complains, you know, why can't they just let that person be what they're being, do what they're doing? They're just always like that. Why do they always have to cause a scene? Even though it's the despicable behavior of this person. I do think it's a patriarch, but it could be a matriarch with very strong patriarchal qualities. So it's gender, like, it doesn't matter about the gender. But yeah, there's definitely some kind of like speaking out against that. And people would rather turn the other cheek. And this sword really gets me. This sword always gets me, because this is a particular sword that's only used in like in the East. And the reason why it's like curved is because when you put it in, to pull it out actually creates more damage than it did when it goes in. And that's the whole thing. So it's almost like, you know, these birds, this cockatoo, which obviously symbolizes something that is clearly not like that is a warning in a way. It's like the elephant in the room, so to speak. And then what happens is then they kind of like sit on it, because it's already bad when it is that way. But then if you were to pull it out, it's going to be even worse. And you're like, no, I've got to pull it out. I've got to pull it out. So what I'm seeing here by this Knight of Pentacles reverse is that people think that you are undoing the good work that they may have done, because of this kind of like a formation of the honeycomb. But the Seven of Cups here is the absolute, like, you know, I do not want to entertain this BS. Wow, I'm feeling so fired up. I'm just going to sort out my candle because it's just gone out. Bear with, Pile 1. Can I just say, Pile 1, you're amazing. It takes like a lot of gumption to be able to do this. So yeah, I'm on your side 100%. Okay, let's have a look at some support for you through this situation. Okay, you got plum and you got emerald. Calm your mind, body and soul, and plum, overcome your challenges. Let me just make sure that that's on camera. I don't know, I was expecting this to be a quick reading, but I should have known from the question, so I might pull another set of tarot just to see how you can navigate this situation a little bit. Okay, so emerald, calm your mind, body and soul, and plum, overcome your challenges. I think this is your way of doing it. I really do. Plum is a deep colour that really connects you to your heart, soul level. Both emerald and plum, and they're royal colours, you know. It means that you're acting from a place of integrity, even if like others can't join you in that space. Not everyone is meant to be a king or a queen, do you know what I mean? I didn't mean that to rhyme either. Wow, descendant invitation. This is about going into the depths, and it's also number 10. We've got number 5, we've got number 3, we've got number 4. So hold on. 3, 4, 5, 10. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely your kind of, this is, you know, I often talk about, well, not often on this tarot channel, but in my coaching, in regards to something called the curse breaker of a family. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but sometimes the one who speaks out, you know, who often are the black sheeps of the family. They're the ones that, you know, that kind of people don't, you know, they see that as the troublemaker or whatever. But then they're the ones that decide to come back and do something about it. They decide not to stand for the behavior or the kind of like, you know, letting people get away with things. It's very, you know, it's very indicative of you being able to stand out. Now, just before I continue, these two are reversed. This one is also reversed. So I think you're in the process of, but I'm going to read them upright. But I'll give both meanings anyway. So change, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. You do understand this, but I feel like you're being stopped. I feel like this energy here is stopping you from being able to do that. And, you know, coming back to that idea of the chain breakers, the curse breakers of the family. This is something that I think, you know, and it doesn't have to be necessarily with family in this case. It could also be with work. So you're the one who's going to and you're the one who's going to change something. And even if you may not even see what the change might be, because of your own actions and because of what you do, it's going to invoke that change. So if it is a company, there may be a sign that if you hear, if you move on and then hear about the company, then you might hear that much has changed because of your actions. So it was reversed. So it doesn't feel like things are going to change here. Also, this was reversed. So overcoming your challenges, it feels like you might not be able to see the results of it. And that's the whole thing about being this kind of like chain breaker, curse breaker of families or places. Usually they don't really see the fruits of their labor until way, way down the line. Calming your mind, body and soul, Emerald, that was also reversed. So there's definitely something that, I mean, what I get here is that there's a need to really remember why you're doing this, but also to understand that your clarity and calmness of mind is going to be what really helps you to survive this situation until you're able to get out of it. Do you know what I mean? Because I think, you know, particularly when it comes to family, like if you go back into a situation and then you end up being triggered again, it's all about how you manage that. And that's if you do either to go back into a situation with family or that situation at work, and then or you choose not to. I speak from experience because in fact I've come from several different situations where I've been. Sorry, the strangest noise was outside. I think someone had one of those scooters, but it sounded really weird. Yeah, I think like I've come from one of these situations in my own workplace, and it was very, very detrimental. And I was in a place where I was completely oppressed, and there was no choice. There was no choice for me but to leave, and that kind of had like a knock-on effect. But nothing that I can see in benefit of myself. The only thing I got really was my peace of mind. But in terms of like the abuse that was suffered in the respect of how protocol is going on within a workplace, I'm never going to see the benefit of that. So I've got a feeling that might be something that might happen. And it's almost like there's an institution. This institution, you know, it can't change in that way because it's so ingrained. And there are people also who are choosing to look the other way. And also they benefit from the bullshit. They benefit from it. So, yeah. Let me have a look at some healing for you, pile one. unlimited possibilities. I think this is really going to give you some really good possibilities for being able to move forward in your own kind of in your field, with people around you. It's just going to make you such a force of nature to work with. I do want to pull like another set of tarot cards for you, not going to lie, so let me just do that. Something just came to me, which is an exercise which was suggested in a few various different ways after I had a few meetings today. But you know, an interesting thing is that if you were to do something called an active imagination exercise, which was if you are in resistance with, say, for example, a person or a person in this emperor character, whoever it is, right? Maybe have a talk with that person in your mind without, you know, just pretend. And because you're coming to this tarot reading, I think you've got like already an idea of connecting with your subconscious and your unconscious self, yeah, right? And also spirit, or something that is outside, something that is beyond yourself. So just try this exercise like you would some kind of meditation. And maybe in your imagination, have a conversation, a safe conversation, obviously, because it's in your imagination, right? Have a conversation with whoever this emperor character is, because it definitely feels like it's like a person. So have a conversation with them and have it out with them. Ask them questions, see what happens, journal on it and see what happens. If you do that, let me know how you get on in the comments, pile 1. That'd be really interesting to hear about. Did any of you used to watch Countdown if you're based in the UK? There was a thing called, I've started so I'll finish. Not Countdown, sorry, Mastermind it was called. So you'd sit on a chair and you'd have like these questions where a person who really knew a lot about certain questions, they would be asked 20 or 25 questions within a time limit. Or how many questions they could get right. They were considered a mastermind if they managed to, like, you know, do that within the time limit. And the catchphrase was, I've started, so I'll finish, even though the buzzer went off, so the questioner would be in the middle of a sentence. And they would say, oh, they'd be saying their question, and then the beeper would go off, or the buzzer would go off, and then they say, oh, I've started, so I'll finish. So the reason why I said that was because I was talking to you and these were like reversed. Like I wanted to keep them secret. So unnecessary. Sorry, I just blabbered on there. But anyway, it's probably relevant somewhere down the line. You've had enough. You've had enough of seeing things destroyed again and again, where people try and make something peaceful. They try and build something. And this character just comes in and they just destroy everything. And it takes a certain amount of strength to be someone who can actually stand up to this character. It's interesting how these are the same colors, right? And stag as well. Stag is such a powerful energy. And the oak as well. Really powerful, strong energy, where your ancestors actually are willing you on, even if this may be something to do with family, because we've got like a lot of familial kind of energy here. So, and also here with tradition as well. So if you're fighting against any institutions or anything, just remember that the ancestors of what you're truly wanting to do is actually cheering you on. King of Wands, the Hermit. Yeah, you are really standing in your power. Really strong fire energy. Strong fire energy. This is time to burn it all clean and burn it to the ground. You've got some allies which will come out by seeing you kind of stand in your strength. It's weird, isn't it? Like when you know these people that are really influential, they don't come out, even though they're probably more influential than you. They're still just as scared. And then when they see you, that's when they decide to come out of the woodwork and go, yeah, what you did was really good. Do you know that? 8 of Cups. Yeah, you know that this is time for you to like walk away from a situation that you just cannot be disempowered in anymore. 5 of Cups reversed. I've just got a feeling that you're going to get an ally. There's going to be an ally. You know, everything may have gone, but there will be an ally. And the 2 of Swords reversed. Yeah, you're just fed up of, you know, I think it's right for you to speak out, basically. I think it's right for you to make noise about this. Because I think that this is an evocation of change. And I think it will be a way of you being able to move into your possibilities. We've got another 10 here, so 1, 9, and then we've got 3 and 7. So I definitely think that there is something that is going to really kind of move you into a position of power and strength. And even if this doesn't turn out like, you know, and I don't know how you'd want the situation to turn out, if you want everybody to kind of go, okay, yeah, you're right, I don't know if that's going to happen. But your integrity is going to be really strong in this position, and you're going to learn a lot from it. So I'm behind you, pile 1. I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos, but otherwise I shall catch you in the next reading. Take care, my darlings. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So what are you resisting? Lady Sarah. Divine union, new earth, holy grail, oneness. What are you resisting? Immediately like high priestess energy with the 22, but also the idea of Lady Sarah is that she is the daughter of Jesus Christ and also Mary Magdalene. That's the legend. But she also represents something of new life on earth, on like how the new kind of generation work towards something that can actually help to encourage people to behave in a better way with everyone else. This kind of sense of unity. So what I'm getting here is that there is a resistance to your ideas. I do also get the sense that there may be something that, you know, if you are in a love relationship, that maybe it's not being very, like it's not approved. There may also be some kind of thing that you want to pursue, and it's being faced with some resistance. So I know this is like what you are resisting, but it's almost like, I don't know, I get that. I get what are people resisting in you, really? I think that's what's happening, because that's what happened with the last reading. But then it also could be that you may be in a kind of tussle between trying to follow yourself or trying to like go with what you think is what everybody else thinks. So there may be that kind of thing. Maybe going for your true desires, going for what you really want in life, going for the holy grail of you, basically. That might be something. So let's look a bit deeper into that with the tarot pile 1. Sorry, 2. What are you resisting, pile 2? What are you resisting, pile 2? What are you resisting? I didn't anticipate this to be a big subject, and of course it was a little bit bigger. I was thinking, oh yeah, it's just going to be like a quick reading like the one was yesterday, but this turned out to be a bit deep. Well, yeah, it is a bit deep, isn't it? Moon reversed. The love. Oh my god, okay. I just wanted a quick reading. Oh god. No, Reena, there are some messages I need to get out to the collective. This is what I need to do. The moon reverse, lovers, the empress reverse. Okay, so we had father line in pile 1, and now we've got mother line issues in pile 2. Oh, Jesus. Right, okay. No pun intended there. Right, okay, so... Oh, wow. Wow. This is incredible, because it's very similar to pile 1, but it's almost like it's like different, like the gender has reversed, and this is very different. So, okay, Spirit, what do you want to say? This is some deep sense of sabotage. I'm going to just say it. It's something that's really deep. Like somebody is, they may have like saw you and thought, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. And it's very, very, I mean, how fitting is that with the fact that we've got Mary, like if Lady Sarah is the child of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene, that's like, you know, considered heresy in some spaces. So with that being said, and then you've got the moon reversed, this says to me that this is something, and then you've got the lovers here. So I definitely feel like if this isn't love, right? If this isn't two people that want to get together and it is like a forbidden love, then it has to be about you wanting to pursue something that is just not wanted, that just is not considered as something that is it's like it's completely against what is the norm. I don't know, with what's going on at the moment, and I know that, like, I'm not gonna, like, if you just look at this character, I'm not saying that this kind of ethnicity, but I mean, you know, we've got certain parts of the world that are really suffering with particular rights at the moment, rights about women, about people being able to speak out for their you know, for their civil rights and their civil liberties, which in some countries we have an ability to just be, you know, we're okay, and we take that for granted. I know a lot of people that are suffering because their relatives are in particular countries which are facing massive oppression, shutdown of the internet, shutdown of like international of basic freedoms and rights, and this is along those lines. This is along those lines. Empress is reversed here. The divine female is being suppressed completely. And what I think is happening is it's because of a woman. So on a grand scale, that's what I feel is happening with you, Pile 2. So you may be one of these people that have family in these countries, or on a smaller scale, it may be there's a few scenarios that I'm getting in my head. One that is you know, it may be a partnership that may be frowned upon. It may also be issues with the maternal line as well, about conflicts there and not being able to have your own sense of opinion when it's to do with a maternal character. Or even being able to give birth or to give rise to your own personal ideas and ideals. With the 8 of Cups here, there's something that needs to, you know, things need to be walked away from. And I don't know, because she looks to me like she's walking towards me as well. So this says that there has to be some sense of movement in order for you to, like, you know, in order for you to be able to, dare I say it, survive. Yeah, I think this is really, really quite intense. Also, you've got the 7 of Pentacles here. It's almost like you know, where you were, there is a life that you could stay with and that you could live with, but you know that it's not your truth, and you have to go out and do your own thing. You have to. It's an absolute necessity that you have to do this. But the oppression is from, like, generations, and it's also from it's from everywhere. I just feel like, you know, this is something that's been pitted against you, Pile 2. I don't know if it might be a karmic situation. We don't have 6 of Cups here, we don't know. I'm just thinking it could be a karmic situation. It could be with the amount of majors here. Yeah, it could be like a karmic pattern. It could be a soul contract or something like that. But there's definitely something here that is telling me that this is not just this lifetime. We'll have a look at with the with your astrology, but let's have a look. God, I only wanted like a nice light reading for you guys, like generally, not just for you. Pile 1 was heavy as well, so like, let's have a look. Okay, that was reversed. But solar flares activate. I mean, this is the timing is now. The timing is now. Whether or not you want it or not, it's now. The 8 here, you've got 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 as well here. Time is to move. 12th house. Oh, this is deep. Part 1, part 2. This is so deep. So deep. So you've got like a whole heap of things. Now we don't have like the Hierophant here, but you may be dealing with religious aspects. You may be dealing with oppressive aspects of generations. You may be dealing with oppressive, I don't know, I really feel the oppression of the female. And what's even worse is that it's done by females here. It's a woman that's oppressing other females or oppressing the female energy, but is also doing it in the favor, you know, it's just a whole load of oppression. And it's a kind of like avoidance of the unity. It's like just, and the thing is, right, what's really interesting about this Lovers card, right, is that it's 2 seahorses. The seahorse is very famous in being the one who carries the babies for the female. It's the one that actually gives birth. So it's almost like a suppression of the divine masculine. It's like the divine masculine is not allowed to rise. And it's by a female. It's really weird. No, too many. I can only have 1, please. I know you want to say a lot, but just 1, please. Okay, you're going to get... Okay, you want 2. All right. Okay, so they were both reversed. And by the way, this was also reversed as well initially. I turned it around. I'm also going to reverse these because I think you should see these. So, we've got cyan, which is build your confidence. And then we've got green, which is revitalize your nervous system. Now, if you are in a constant state of alert, you know, the first thing that they say is that your cortisol levels are really high. So it basically puts you in a consistent state of anxiety, which just drains the life out of you. So whatever it takes for you to, whatever this thing that you are resisting, it's causing you to kind of, it's having a real toll on your confidence and having a real toll on your nervous system. So there needs to be this sense of you being able to do whatever you need to do that. You know, there's a lot of unknowns here, pile 2. It might feel like you're being attacked from places which you can't even see, because that solar flares was also reversed as well. So what I think is the most important thing for you to do is just to make sure that you know you, and you know yourself, and you know your mind. That's the one thing no one can control. They can do whatever they want to your physical body or whatever, but they can't control your mind. You will always be able to think, and will always have the freedom to think whatever you want to think. If you want to, okay? If you want to. I think you do want to. But I think that there's also forces that want to take advantage of that as well, particularly this Empress character, who I really don't like. So it's really deep. Okay, so we have duality. No surprise there. There's a disrespect for the duality. It may be the other way around, like the divine feminine is the one that's in control. Like that's the one who's in control. That's the one who's, you know, who's in charge. And it can't be like that completely. The divine masculine has to be there as well. Let me pull one of these, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull another set of tarot, because we need to get you an action plan. What is pile 2 resisting? Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. What was I saying? 12th house, moon reversed, 12th house reversed as well. You have to understand that you might not know the answers. You might not know what's going on. You have to just remain really clear in yourself, pile 2. That's the only thing that you can do within this situation. It really is. I don't know what's going on right now, but like it just seems really serious. So like what I'm just going to say to you, pile 2, is that you are, you know, there are resources for you. You know, if you ever need to talk to anyone, please search out like any kind of phone line, or there are services that you can reach out online. Meditation, I know it's really difficult. I find that breath work is really, really good for me when I know that I've got nothing else. So please do whatever you can to kind of help rebuild these things that are, because this situation is clearly doing this to you. It's clear. It's if you feel that you've been like low on energy, or you feel like you've not been able to move forward, it's because of this situation. So I think that's really important to recognize. It's not because of you and what you're doing. It's because of the situation that's around you, because there is some energy that is trying to suppress you. Okay, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'll take them all. So yeah, 4 of Pentacles here with the moon reversed. There is I mean, I think, to be honest with you, the fact that there is this kind of like unknowing energy, it's caused you to move. You have to do something. You have to do something where you feel a sense of liberation, because there's no way that you can allow this to kind of happen. You can't really, you can't just keep on, you just can't sit back. You have to do something. The Lovers is clarified by the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the ability to communicate. I don't know if you're communicating with this person who you are in, like there may be a partner, a person that you love, or someone that's a really good friend, or somebody who you're deciding to take this choice for, because it's this choice that's actually causing this thing where you're being kind of completely ostracized, oppressed. People are trying to feed doubt into your mind. It's really interesting how we've got this color here, this dark green color, and then this green, revitalize your nervous system. This is about you going back to earth. If you can walk out in nature, pile 2, that's going to really help you. I do feel though, for some of you that are watching this, I just feel like you might be in a situation where none of those options are available. So I'm just hearing you. With this Empress reverse, the 3 of Cups, it may be difficult for you to be able to talk to people around you. You may, it may be difficult, or there may be others that actually resonate with what you're doing, but they're just too scared. They're just too scared, but they love you, and they want to kind of help you, and they see what you're doing, but they're kind of intimidated. This Empress energy is very intimidating. They may also I don't know, I've got two things here. Like, I don't, the Three of Cups would have been reversed, or it would have been something else. There would have been something to instigate some kind of bitchy energy that was going on, and I don't see that here. What I'm seeing is that this Empress reversed is actually just influencing certain people and causing people to stay in their cups and not let them go out, as long as they're kind of like happy in that space. But it's almost like a bit like Cinderella-esque, like when you've got the two older sisters, the two sisters that really like give Cinderella a hard time. It's like that. But with these sisters, I feel like they're not, because they're okay because their situation is okay. But I mean, in this case, I think that these people may not be bitchy towards you. I don't think that they are like that, but they are very cushy within their situation. They are very comfortable within their situation because they're not the ones that are being ostracized. So there may be a bit of black sheep kind of ness that's going on here. And because of that, they're like all right with being either the screaming monkeys or the golden child. Do you know what I mean? The golden children. The flying monkeys, as I would say. Definitely. I get like a bit of flying monkey kind of syndrome here, but they're not being as nasty to you. So it's kind of okay for them, right? And then they seem one way to you and one way to her. Now you've got the Ace of Cups here. We've got two aces here. So this is a real shot of you being able to like create a new beginning for yourself, pile 2. I don't know if you've got an opportunity to like move away. It seems like with this Lovers card as well, there's just something beautiful that is waiting to be manifest for you. Just something really new, something that is far away from this. We have the Knight of Pentacles upright, clarifying the Hermit. So what I'm getting here is that this has been a plan in a plan in process. It's been something that's been kind of bubbling under the surface. You may have been feeling like this for a while, and it's all about like how you've been able to build these things up so that you can actually have the strength to move on, because you know that there is no way that you can actually, you can't work within the situation that you're in. So it could be also a work situation. I'm just seeing it as a societal thing, to be honest with you. Yeah, anyway. So with the Three of Wands, yeah, you've definitely got, you've made plans in other places. And that's where you need to go. They will be successful. They will be. Because that's going to send the clearest message of all. And it's interesting how it's a swan, because the swan is of love. I really do think that this might be like, you know, somebody not really approving of a partner or something like that, or that there's just some sense of disapproval here from this Empress. And you're just like, no, I'm living my life because it's mine. Wow, pile 2. I have to leave it there because that's just blown me away. I don't know if it resonated. If it did, please let me know. Obviously, you don't have to let me know any details, but if you did like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos, but I really hope that it helped more than anything else. Take care, my darlings, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Can I just say that these readings have been blowing my mind. They've been pretty intense. And I was just wanting like an easy light reading like yesterday was, but no. So let's see what you are resisting, pile 3. Anna, grandmother. Oh, Jesus. Okay, right. This is following like, this is all deep. It's all deep. I don't know why I'm resisting. Sorry to laugh, pile 3, but I'm just saying, right, my own journey through this pick a pile, pick a card reading has been quite interesting, because I think my own resistance is that I was resisting to it being deep, and this reading has been deep, and this is deep. Pile 3, ancestral stuff coming up. I don't know if you're facing some things that are really kind of like helping you to that are triggering you maybe at this point. You may be thinking, what is going on? There are certain people that are triggering me. There are certain things that are happening and I'm just not really understanding what's going on. This is to trigger some ancestral patterning, and also causing you to connect to the deep part of your mother. She was known as the mother of Mother Mary. She is not mentioned on the Bible, but she has been worshipped and revered since the early days of Christianity and is continued to be honoured by the Catholic Church to this day. So she is Mary's mother. Mary's mother. Good Lord. In pile 1 we had paternal. Pile 2 we have maternal. And here we got the grandmother. So, I mean, you know, it's pretty intense. So there's something about you learning something and accepting knowledge from your elders that is really going to help you. And there is some resistance there. Your ancestors are calling to you to ask you to receive this message, part 3. Okay, let's have a look with the tarot. And even if you did not have contact with your mother or your grandmother or your grandparents, it doesn't matter. They're still in your blood. They still travel in your blood. They are still there. You are them, no matter how much you want to get away from it. And not everybody is good and bad. You know, everybody's got different qualities and people have become certain ways because of certain reasons. So this is about you understanding that and finding that out and really recognizing like how you can transmute that into something beautiful, into an incredible form of energy that is your own story, part 3. Look at that. I mean, as I was saying that, the cards were like confirming everything I was saying. The amount of strength, if you've come from a space where maybe you were ashamed of your past, maybe you didn't get on with your mum and dad, maybe you didn't like your family, I don't know. I really don't know. And it could be so different for all of them. You are a pinnacle of strength for all of them, whatever it is. They are thanking you for the work that you've done. We've got 2 8s here. 8 of Pentacles is about this self, you know, this work of self, doing the work on your own, doing the work with yourself, on yourself, by yourself. 8 of Swords reversed. The revealing, the being able to step out of old patternings of behavior. I said something, I think it was to pile 1, that this is, you know, it's very much curse breakers. This is the, you know, there's certain people within a family that are called the curse breakers of the family. They are the ones who decide that they are not going to follow the same patterns that all of their parents, grandparents, people before them. They're not going to follow to the same patterning. They're not going to walk that way. They're not going to do that thing. They're not going to walk that path. They're going to walk their own path. And your ancestors are congratulating you on that. They're saying to you, thank you. Because this is the thing, when people talk about like generational stuff that goes on, people also forget the good things that happened. You know, not only do you heal the stuff that happens, or the negative stuff that happens to you, but you also reap the benefits. You reap all the good things of those generations as well. Page of Swords, yep. Definitely. I don't think that this was like communicated as well to you. It's interesting because, like, you know, this thing has come as like, the question is like, what are you resisting? But it's almost like, you know, the resistance is almost the tension that you needed to allow this to kind of come through. It's really strange how this reading's come about. 4 of Swords. Yeah, absolutely. Unrest. I mean, my definition of the Page of Swords is very different from most people, but like, you know, I see this as the ability to look at what is really difficult to look at. The Page of Swords is looking at something that's not you know, is avoidant. It's a very avoidant energy. When it's reversed to me, that means that you're actually facing it. You're the only one who's deciding to face it. Four of Swords is awakening to that. And knowing that actually, you know what? It's my job. I have to do it. Because who else is going to do it? Yeah, big time. Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords. You mean business, pile 3. You are going for it. Very similar to pile 1. Very similar to pile 1. But in a way, you're kind of a little bit more along. My pile 3s always are. They're always the ones that kind of like, they're like the advanced pile. They're the pile that I always wish I was. I'm pile 1 the whole time. But anyway, let's have a look at some astrology for you, my loves. What is pile 3 resisting? What is pile 3 resisting? So, I mean, you're diving into depths which just are not comfortable spaces. And people just don't want to go in, because when they go there, they feel that they're in this circle and they feel like they can't get out. But you have found a way to be able to walk the maze and walk out of there and be able to get out. Or you're able to navigate this space until you can, you know how to walk out of there. You know how to kind of work it. Because this card is so amazing. I really love it in its discomfort. Like, this is about being able to sit within discomfort, and it's really interesting because 1 + 9 is 10, 1 + 4 is 5, so 5, 10. It's almost like, you know, sitting in that discomfort of 5, going to number 19. It's really, really good. Really, really good. I think you just have managed to navigate that really well, pile 3. You've managed to be in a space where you're able to see what other people have been resisting, and then you're like, I'm not going to resist that. And you may even have been in a position like that, maybe a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't know, but you maybe were in a position like that previously. And you were like, and then you may also be looking at people and thinking, I used to be in that position and I'm not there anymore. I'm not anymore. Violet and turquoise. Right, okay, so we've got create a balanced life, and then we've got awaken your empathy. Beautiful. You know that you want peace in your life, pile 3. But you are becoming more empathetic. We've got another 9 here, which is... No, actually. Okay. So we've got 9 and then we've got 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you're definitely at the more advanced stages, I would say, like of this kind of healing. You're also starting to understand why, because that's also a very big thing, like people understanding why people did the things that they did and coming from a place of real empathy. Very difficult to do. It's not an easy thing. But you're kind of, and that's why Anna came up, because it shows that you are in a position where you can understand that. Beautiful, beautiful. Failure, I understand that mistake is only an opportunity to learn. What I get from that is that you're also understanding that you know, that the ancestral patterning is that of believing that failure is what has occurred here, but then you're understanding that that's not the case here. I don't know, the messages have come out like completely different to the question. I'm sorry, but you know, if you're coming to this reading, then this is what it is about. This is what the messages are. All of them have been ancestral, deeply ancestral. What are you resisting? I'm trying to figure out like how the question like marries into this. I think what's happened is that there's been a sense of you resisting for a long time, and now it's almost like the vision I have is that the boulder is finally being moved by the water. The emotion is finally starting to be allowed to flow. That's what I'm sensing. It's like the flow of love and compassion, and all of your learning and understanding is starting to kind of like flow through so that it moves through these blocks. Let's see what these cards have to say, and then I'm going to pull another round of tarot to just finish off. Oh, sugar, you got duality as well. Wow. Pile 2 got that as well. Or one of the other piles, I can't remember. I think this is just a real understanding of the world in a spiritual way as well. I'm definitely getting like throat chakra as well as crown chakra. And with that debilitated, I always just get a very clear reminder of when I was working. I was in a really deep space with plant medicine, and that was deeply ancestral. And you're in that space, and it's about sitting in that space and being allowing yourself to just be there and to hold the space so that you can allow this healing to occur. The other 2 readings were more about like kind of trailblazing and pushing out and actually having an outright resistance. But whereas here it's almost like if they were to be like the kind of resistance where they would be the outward protesters, you would just be the person that sits down and quietly protests, kind of thing. You would be resisting in that way. You'd be, no, this has to change, and you do it with a sense of love and compassion and wisdom. Okay, one more round of tarot, and then we will finish off your reading, pile 3. I'm absolutely shocked with these readings, to be honest with you. I really wasn't expecting it. I really hope they resonate for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. 5 of Swords reversed. Ten of Cups reversed. Ace of Pentacles reversed. 4 of Pentacles reversed. This is definitely ancestral. Page of Cups reversed. Judgment reversed. Yep, absolutely. And the only one upright. The Moon. You know how to give it to me, Spirit. Right, okay, so what I'm seeing here, my loves, is that this strength is kind of, this strength is so strong. We've got the power of the oak, and then we have the power of stag. Also, we have the Emperor energy, the red energy, the energy of Mars, the energy of drive, even though that it's also Leo as well, actually, because strength is Leo. But what I'm getting from red is that Martian energy, that drive, that energy of war, the thing that says, no, I am going on and I'm going to be resistant to being defeated. I'm not going to accept defeat, which is what the 5 of Swords reverse tells us. It says, no, I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to be in this position where I am oppressed, where I am put down, where I am kind of in this position where I feel disempowered again. Now, I've got a feeling, right, that you have come to an understanding about your own sense of patterning that occurs in your day-to-day life. So you may find out that there may have been like ways that you acted around your friends, your family, people around you, just the way that you were living your life in a general state. And that really wasn't congruent for you living a happy life. So you had decided, I'm going to make some really big changes about this, or maybe not even big changes, but small steps to make that massive incremental change of changing your life completely. And what's going on here is that you're cracking the code, basically. You're cracking it. It takes time, all right? Realization is the first step, which is kind of what pile 1 and pile 2 have done. But you, pile 3, have seemed to have come to a more mature state where you're understanding what you have to do. You're understanding how it happened. So you may have investigated what happened. You may have had to come to terms with that and then just be okay and take your time with that. And then you've awakened your empathy to be able to understand where you are in that position as well. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm in absolute disbelief of this reading, pile 3. 8 of Pentacles is clarified by the 10 of Cups. You just weren't happy. You had to change things because you just knew that the way that things were going were not going to be able to build a sense of happiness for you. You just knew. You were like, no, it's just not going to happen. It's just really not going to happen. So I have to change something. I have to accept, I have to say no to the fact that I am not going to, that I am not deserving of happiness. I do deserve happiness. That's what this message is here. 8 of Swords reversed is Ace of Pentacles reversed. I will create opportunities for myself because I have not been able to take or capitalize upon the opportunities. They have been taken from me. They have been robbed from me. I've missed out on things because of this. Because of this previous patterning, I've missed out. So I need to go and get. Page of Swords is clarified by the 4 of Pentacles. Movement towards something bigger, better, stronger, more. Page of Cups is clarifying the 4 of Swords. We've got 2 4s here as well, both reversed, and both when they are reversed, these particular 4s, they indicate movement. The Page of Cups is not having any kind of illusions about what, there's no kind of fantasy about this. I also feel that the way that you've been treated hasn't been very nice either. It hasn't been very nice. And there may have also been a bit of disillusionment, actually. A bit of disillusionment about where you were previously, which is why you were unable to answer the call before. I also do get that that you think you'll be judged by previous generations. I don't think so. You won't be. But I do feel that there was an inability to answer the call beforehand. And now you know that now is the time. You have to change it. You have to change it. You have to change it. You can't. It was because the call wasn't answered before. People didn't pay attention before. People didn't see the possibility before. And I don't know, pile 3, if you are tuning in to some deep magic of your own, like you're tuning into some really deep kind of. I think what I feel here is that you've done some really intense shadow work and it's just unlocked a whole load. We've got a lot of purple here, so I'm feeling like crown chakra stuff. So you've had like, maybe you've done some ancestral work where you've connected to like some of your ancestors from the past. And then what's happened is then they've given you some kind of messages and given you some like instructions to be able to heal the family line. That's what I feel here. And what it feels like is that the very resistance in this has actually been your shadow work and you being able to heal it. Pile 3, I think that's all I have for you. It's so deep. Can't get over it. It's really deep. I think I'm gonna have to have a lie down after this. I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made some sense. I hope that those who need to see it, see it. Sending you lots of love, my darlings. And I shall speak to you really soon. Bye.